It's Friday, everybody. Welcome into your go-to show for sports here on the Shore, Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Anthony Joseph.
And I'm Chris Brunk. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to get into tonight, as we do every Friday night. Anthony.
We certainly do. Let's go over what we have in store for you tonight. CR took on Sussex Central in a battle of the heavyweights. We'll have highlights and results from that match.
And Delaware State basketball, 6 of their next 9 games are at home. Hear from Coach Stan Waterman on the stretch that could make or break the Hornets season.
It certainly could. Tonight was a battle of Sussex Central taking on Caesar Rodney. Sussex Central ranked number 2. Let's get right into the action. Caesar Rodney was here to prove themselves against Sussex Central. Trevor Copes with a headlock. He spins around and gets him down as Copes would dominate the 145 match, ending in the second period due to that tech fall. And then Sussex Central's main guy, yes, it's Malachi Stratton, but it's also Ivan Flores. He's moving, working around there, trying to get the pin. He's able to get up and get that reversal on his opponent with some time left in the second period. Flores, looking at the clock, he's able to get the takedown, putting his head down in the final seconds in the third period, winning in the 2:15 class. Last week against Cape, he won in about 30 seconds. Caesar Rodney's Ben Donato, good movement there, trying to avoid the shoot. He gets that takedown on his opponent. Donato was able to dominate in the 106 weight class by winning a tech fall in the second period. Malachi Stratton was up next. Of course, he is the main guy, one of the best of all time. Dominant in his 120 weight. Also took the tech fall. It was a back and forth, but he was just too much. Overall, Sussex Central did not win. Caesar Rodney did, 35-24. Caesar Rodney head coach Trey Mitchell had this to say about this intense matchup.
The same as when I was back in high school, and same with I'm sure Central's coaching staff as well. We've been battling for Henley Open Conference titles. Seems every year we're kind of in the mix, both teams, along with some other teams, and then we're also always battling for state titles. I think their goal is just like ours, is always be conference and state champions. And it goes way back. I remember being a kid in the stands watching Sussex Central and Caesar Rodney fight it out. So, like I said before, man, it's a privilege to be a part of it, get to coach in it.
Well, Sussex Central wrestler Malachi Stratton, he's been phenomenal. We just saw him in that. He recently won his 184th match, and that is history for the Central wrestler. That is the most in the history of high school wrestling in Delaware. Tonight, he picked up that win against CR. Stratton talks about his keys to victory and what his future might look like.
Staying disciplined, you know, it's not easy. I haven't missed a single match my whole high school career. I mean, I've been injured before, sick, but, you know, staying dedicated and staying on path and just staying disciplined. Because, you know, it's not easy, you know, being the shooter, chase forward and stuff like that. Just staying disciplined, put the work in and know that it'll show when the big matches come. After this, well, right now I'm focused on as far as, you know, getting the team title, getting back in the room so we can get another back-to-back for a state title. And after that, looking to go D1 somewhere.
And be sure to follow us on social media so you can get updates from these games and events that we are at in real time.
A great event happened yesterday. Orioles manager Brandon Hyde was in town for the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove as he was the featured keynote speaker. Last night, they had a record-setting crowd of 565 fans that attended this annual Hot Stove event. The fans also had a silent auction with a lot of items they could bid on. Ryan Mountcastle bat was one of them, but the big traction, of course, you had him signing a lot of Brandon Hyde, signing a lot of those baseballs. Proceeds from this event goes to the Shorebirds Fly Together Fund, which helps little leagues and other sport teams on Delmarva.
We're excited to, Adam was around a lot more last year, and it's great having him around. He was in spring training with us, put a uniform on with us for about a week or so last spring. He's going to do that again this year, so that's going to be fun to have him around. And it's a cool honor for him and well deserved for the career he had and what he did here in Baltimore. But I'm going to see him a lot more of him, so that's going to be great.
Well, we had a lot going on with the Shorebirds this week. They held a conference earlier this week talking about renovating their stadium to meet new player development standards. They had rendered pictures of how the new facility would look, and they've been trying to figure out what players and coaches needed so that they can get the most out of this money that they're investing in this project. They had many meetings that went on for hours to make sure the Shorebirds and everyone in the organization was getting everything that they needed. Some of these renovations include home and visitor clubhouse renovations with a weight room, coach collaborative workroom, batting and training facility, classroom space, a whole lot going on. They'll make upgrades to the bullpens and dugouts, field and parking lot lighting as well. The project starting over a year ago from the earlier design stages. GM Chris Bitters believes that the majority of the renovations will be done by opening day. That excludes the Performance Center, which should be done in early summer.
The Delaware State boys basketball team is doing well at home this season with their playing at Memorial Hall in Dover. They're having success. The problem is the team has been on the road a lot this year. However, out of their 9 games that they have left, 6 are at home, and they're back on home on Monday against Morgan State. DS head coach Stan Waterman says it's great to be playing a long stretch of games at home in Dover.
We're excited about that. One of our goals, and one of the goals I had when I was first hired, is to make BSU and Memorial Hall one of the toughest places to play in the country. So we have established a nice little home court presence. I think we're 5-1, 6-1 at home this year. So we want to make it a tough place to play, and we're looking forward to, this back end of our schedule where we have a number of home games where we can hopefully do that. Once you get into conference play in this league, the MEAC is so tough from top to bottom. It doesn't matter. Every night's going to be a war.
We're calling our first time out, but when we return, we had an emotional night of basketball at Salisbury Christian.
We'll have highlights from those games and more on their cause when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
This is Rich Farrell from Stephen Decatur High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.